Hey, how's it going everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Mod Bundle. Today we are looking at making this game difficult, and for no reason other than to punish ourselves. So for starters, we're going to be using Gas Masks of the Wasteland by Divine122. This mod is going to make it very necessary to have gas masks on nearly all the time. So when you first load up Fallout 4 after installing Gas Masks of the Wasteland, you're going to be prompted with this menu, which has a few presets for you and also some settings to make it kind of your own and customize it a little bit. But for the presets, we have the survival preset, which is going to be radiation all the time, a complete nuclear winter, so that you always need to have a gas mask on, and the filter duration is 10 minutes, as it is for just about all of these except for immersion. For medium, you only need the gas masks during precipitation weather, so when it's raining, so you could imagine that the radiation has spread to the clouds, and you really only need it whenever there are wet weathers. And then easy is only during the radioactive weather, like rad storms and dust storms, which I think is probably the most immersive way and realistic way for the Fallout universe because, you know, the radiation isn't a huge problem, but if you're trying to make it difficult when there's radiation around, I think easy is the way to go, despite the name. And then immersion is an interesting one. It gets rid of the huge amount of radiation that's prevalent in radiation storms. However, it still offers all of the cool, unique features of the gas masks available in this mod. So if you just want to play the vanilla style, but with the cool gas masks, this is your way to go. For the purposes of showing this mod, we're going to be using survival. So, whenever you start up your game, like we were saying, you start with the new gas mask M1A211. There's actually a ton of gas masks added with this mod, but I'm really just going to be showing off the features that make this mod so difficult to play with. So, you can't tell right now, but there is radiation all around me. And, well, just to show you, let's take off our gas mask here and see just how bad the radiation is. If you look at our health bar in just a second, and here it comes, and our vision goes blurry. It is a mess. This mod also, as you see, adds new gas mask equipping animations, which are really, really cool. You also have to monitor your filter usage, because you will be burning through filters as you use them, and so there is now a hotkey to change them, if you need to. See, we throw it off, put on a new one, and we're good to go. Additionally now, your gas masks can take damage. As you'll see, there are cracks forming, and radiation is starting to leak in. So you do need to manage your gas mask. You also now have the ability to wipe your gas mask if there's blood on your screen, which the first time will smear it, and the second time will usually clean it up. And yeah, this really just makes gas masks a necessity, or improves the gas mask gameplay if you pick one of the easier options, but regardless, I think it's a must-have if you're trying to do a radiation-based playthrough. Moving on, since we're on the topic of radiation, and we got some radiation poisoning during our last review, we're going to check out Classic Radiation Poisoning by TheIrontoads. So now we have radiation effects similar to what we had before in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. If we check out our effects, you'll see we are at Advanced Radiation Poisoning. Agility -1 and Endurance -2. So on top of it decreasing our health, we also get some debuffs. Now there is a patch, I believe, that makes it so that radiation and health are separate, but that's not what this video is about. We're about punishing you in every way possible. So your health goes down and you get debuffs for being radiated. If we were to take off our gas mask here just for a second and get our radiation really, really bad, you'll see there's even more debuffs the further down you go in radiation level. Give it just a second here and it'll really start to kick in. There we go, our radiation level has increased, so let's see what our stats are. We now have Agility -2, Endurance -3, and Strength -1. These are some really bad debuffs you don't want to obtain, so you should really be keeping your radiation in check. And let's see, I think there's one more level before we die of radiation poisoning. Let it progress just a little bit more here, and we should see it pop up. There we go. Deadly radiation poisoning. Now we have Agility -2, Endurance -3, and Strength -2. Now, you'd probably never let it get this low because you'd be at the risk of dying, but if you're using the other patch, definitely you could obtain radiation poisoning and still have a full health bar. So, you do not want to be obtaining these negative effects. So, moving on to our next mod, we have Agony by Meysam. This mod does a complete overhaul to the survival healing system and makes it much more difficult and, well, punishing. So for starters, now we have a bunch of animated healing items like our energy pills here, which will cure up weakness. And whenever you take them, you'll see your character actually takes the pill. We also have things like bandages, which will heal your fresh wounds. And then we also have the surgery kits, which will help with different types of wounds like broken bones and bleeding, but can cause your character pain. After a few of those medical treatments, if we head over to our stats, you'll actually see we have quite a bit of stuff here. We have blood loss, pain, surgery, which has made us get a -2 to agility and charisma, and now we can't sprint. Fresh wound, open wound. So this this gives you a lot to keep track of. Healing isn't as simple as popping a stim pack anymore. You really got to keep track of what it is that you are suffering from and what is the correct treatment. And doing so incorrectly can cause problems. For example, taking too many blood packs to cure your blood loss will cause a cardiac arrest, and your character will probably die unless you are able to get your health up. And as these guys approach us, I suppose we'll move on to our next mod, which is Zombie Walkers by Joe Forsyth. Zombie Walkers is a highly customizable mod that doesn't just add zombie hordes to the game, it's actually tweakable to be just about any feral ghoul experience that you could imagine, and for the purposes of today's video, I'm going to walk you through what I could do to make the game just harder in the sense of roaming feral ghouls and more enemies to attack you. So, for starters, we have the option for the name, and I'm going to choose feral ghouls because we are playing Fallout, not a zombie game. Max effective level, we'll leave at -1 so that they have unlimited level caps. Experience, I'm going to put to 100 because I still want to gain experience for killing ghouls. It isn't just the easiest feat in the world. And no loot, I'm going to set to off so we can still get little things like rags and duct tape off of ghouls. Headshot only is a cool idea, but I'm going to turn that off because I use realistic headshots. This is a scripted headshot, I believe, so there is a little bit of a delay that you'll notice when you shoot them in the head, whereas realistic headshots applies to all creatures, and it is instant because it is just a headshot multiplier. For offense, damage multipliers too, that's fine. Speed, I'm going to increase a little bit to, well, we'll keep it at 100, the normal movement speed. And perception bonus, finishing moves are fine. Horde size, there are wandering hordes now that will travel through the world. And I'm going to set mine to 25. And extra noise, they will be attracted to noise and eat humans. They will start feeding on human bodies. I am all about that. Even though they are feral ghouls, you could imagine that they're cannibalistic. Maybe they need to eat something. For infection settings, you can actually have them infect dead bodies, but for me it's ghouls, not zombies. If this is something you want, great, but for me, I'm going to disable that feature. Moving through, we don't need to set any of these. We're going to disable infection because, again, we're using ghouls, not zombies. And you can have a death alternative. When the player dies, they will respawn at one of their settlements. There's also a death alternative. After death, the player will respawn in one of their settlements, while their former self remains behind and resurrects as a zombie. If you want to get your gear back, you have to track yourself down, kill it, and get your stuff back. We're going to leave that disabled for now, but that might be something I look into for our Fallout 4 playthrough. For spawn settings, we have the chance that there are settlement attacks every hour. So every hour right now there's a 5% chance, and I think that that is fine, but we may increase that here in a bit just to get an attack to trigger. And I'll set it to 25 zombies to get just a little bit harder. The hourly chance that you are interrupted by sleep because of an oncoming horde, we can increase that. I'm going to leave it at 1 for now. And extra spawns. We'll make it so that there are extra spawns in existing map markers. I'm going to increase that chance to 25. So 1 out of 4 times there will be extra zombies just around the world, which is pretty cool. And then spawn replacements. We're going to leave most of these the same, except right here, replace feral ghouls. Instead of 1 ghoul, it'll be 3. So anywhere you would have found 1 ghoul in the vanilla game, there will now be 3, and the rest I'm going to leave the same. Now, just to show you what our zombies are going to look like, I'm going to sleep for an hour, and I've set it to 100%, so we should be interrupted, by an oncoming zombie attack. So our settlement now should be under attack by a feral ghoul horde. The question is, where are they coming from? Here we go. Finally, there are some ghouls coming off in the distance. Oh, there's the rest of them. Oh, there they are. Okay, we are ready for a fight, and luckily our turrets are already going to work. So yeah, this gives you a real reason to have some good settlement defenses and some good guards, because if you set these settings high enough, there will be a constant stream of feral ghouls attacking your horde, which is kind of the vibe I'm going for our Fallout 4 playthrough. So really quickly, I do want to show out that spawn replacement as part of the Zombie Walkers mod. I was going to include Death Matters, which does the same thing where you die and spawn as one of your settlers, but I couldn't get Death Matters to work. Yet it does work for the Zombie Walkers mod, and instead of finding a dead body, your body will actually be coming back as a ghoul, which I think is pretty neat. So we're going to die really quick, and we will respawn as one of our settlers. So really quick, after you die, it'll fade to black, and you will respawn at your nearby settlement as one of your settlers, and you will be tasked with killing your old self to be able to get your supplies back. You will spawn with whatever is on your settler, so whatever armor or weapons you equip them with, you will actually have. So it is worth keeping your settlers well equipped, because you may need that gear in the future. So as you see, I've spawned in my watchtower as one of my settlers. This is not my character from before. So let's load up our gun here and go find our old body. And there he is. Already a ghoul. See, actually has turned into a ghoul too. It's not our old player model. And he killed me. Well, alright then. Regardless, that's how the mod works right there. Your dead body respawns, and you have to fight them. We'll probably actually spawn right now as one of our other settlers. Yep, here we are. Luckily our turrets are going to take care of them, because I don't think this guy has a gun. Oh, he does. So he's dead. Oh. There we go. There. So there's all of... That's my original character with all of my stuff, including my caps. And this guy as well. So there you go. That is the Zombie Walkers mod. Alrighty, and our final mod for today is going to be Pack Attack by Greslin, and this is going to improve the AI of all humanoid enemies, so they're going to be a little bit smarter than your default vanilla NPCs. They are now actually going to take into consideration their cover. They will be able to dodge and run, and they're going to move around a whole lot more. While I did mow through those guys, I don't know if you saw the movement, they were dipping in and out of cover, moving around a lot more rather than just standing there and shooting you. And they won't just wait for you to attack, they'll be shooting the whole time. And with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and found at least one mod in here that you want to consider downloading for yourself, or maybe I just reminded you of a mod that you've seen before that maybe you forgot about. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop a like. It helps out the channel and the ratings, and it gets us into that algorithm. And if you're not subscribed already, consider subscribing for more Fallout 4 modding content. Sorry if this video seemed a little bit rushed, but I really wanted to pack in as much information as I possibly could without explaining every single possible detail. Real quick, before we end, almost forgot, we have a Discord. If you want help with your load order, or you just want cool mod recommendations, or to meet some cool people in the Fallout community, as well as Fallout creators and mod creators, come join our Discord. The link will be in the description, and you can come chat with me or other fellow Fallout community members. I hope to see you guys there. Now the video's over. For real this time. Peace.